Lacey Chabert. Anybody who has even a passing knowledge about Hallmark Christmas movies knows that she is the unquestioned queen of holiday flicks on that channel. In fact, the very first one I ever saw was called Elevator Girl. Technically not a Christmas movie, but it was still one of those Hallmark romance movies. And it starred, you guessed it, Lacey Chabert. There seems to be nothing stopping her from making these movies until the end of time. That would be unless... Oh, wow. That's a bit awkward. Anyway, let's cast our gaze back before she was too, in air quotes, old for these films, and enjoy one of the very first Christmas movies Hallmark ever made, A Royal Christmas. Royal Christmas wasn't just one of the first Christmas movies that started the Hallmark Christmas trend. It was also the very first movie that used the now infamous, hey, it's a secret royal from a small European country. It is such a common trope in these movies at this point that even Saturday Night Live has spoofed it.
I'm the prince, and you will be my princess.
Another proposal!
Rudolph, will you bring my sleigh around?
What? It's Prince Santa!
So how does this Christmas royal extravaganza begin? Like every Christmas movie starring Lacey Chabert, with her looking wistfully out the window. She is soon interrupted from her gazing at the winter wonderland outside her window by her boyfriend, who has brought her a gift. And I have absolutely no idea who sponsored this movie. Can you maybe give me a clue? Any clue at all? It's a mystery. Well, don't they seem like a lovey-dovey couple, with them sharing their pancakes, kisses, and women's clothes for some reason? Wait, what? Well, it turns out Lacey is playing a seamstress, and he plays the part of her models. Somehow that's supposed to show that he clearly loves her, although I guess it really does, as any man who is indifferent about a woman would never let her dress him up in any kind of women's clothing, even if it is just a jacket that you can't really tell is not unisex. But of course, everything isn't as perfect as the stack of pancakes in front of them. It seems he has a secret. And while Lacey's friend thinks it's that he's planning to propose at a very nice restaurant, it's something much more earth-shattering. You see, her boyfriend Leo is a secret prince.
No, I'm a prince.
What?
I'm Prince Leopold of Cordelia.
Now, I don't want to give full spoilers of every video I want to make on this channel, but I will say I've watched over 100 Christmas movies and just over 500 other Hallmark-style movies in preparation for this series. And in that time, I've discovered something amazing. There are a lot of fake countries I have never heard of before. Therefore, I have taken this map of Europe and will fill it in with all the countries these movies introduced me to. Today, we are introduced to Cordelia, which is...
It's a small sovereign state near the south of France.
So, with that being said, we'll just go ahead and put this on the map right here, next to Genovia from the Princess Diaries, with their pears as their trademark export. Side note, I had to add Genovia on this map because I told my dad I was making this map for these videos, and the first thing he says is, "Did you put Genovia on there?" Anyway, Lacey, or Emily as she is known in this particular production, doesn't believe him at first, but is soon shocked to find out it's true, and she will be spending Christmas in his royal palace. Someone who is less than thrilled by this turn of events is Queen Quinn Medicine Woman. The thing I like about this character is that it would have been so easy for the movie just to make her either an overbearing mother who doesn't care about her son's life and just wants to promote her own happiness over his, or maybe a stuck-up rich royal who looks down on commoners and can't imagine them in any kind of halls of the elites. But they don't do that. Instead, we just see that as the movie progresses, she's just a concerned mother and diligent queen who is very concerned about a non-native woman in that country becoming the princess, and not really understanding what that means or the responsibilities or life-changing events that will befall her if she decides to go through with marrying her son. And as we watch the movie, we find out that Emily is indeed not ready to be princess. As much as she's a fun character and she seems like a perfectly nice lady, I mean, it turns out that when you're marrying into a royal or noble family, there is a lot of responsibility, etiquette, and other societal things that need to be done in order to be part of that world. I mean, just look at the real world where people like Meghan Markle attempt to become a royal because she's supposedly in love with the prince, but in the end they both have to reject any claim to the throne because she just would not conform to what was needed for her to be part of that world. It's a difficult thing, and these movies only show the romantic excitement of the Cinderella-style story of a commoner getting to live in the palace. Some of the things that Emily has to grow accustomed to are things such as the palace size, meal etiquette, and the condescending games of the nobles. Everything about this world is strange and foreign to a girl from small-town America, which makes sense. I mean, it really would be if you were entering that world. And despite feeling like a fish out of water, the relationship she has with Leo, it shines through as the movie progresses. They have a lot of little fun moments, like this scene of them fencing, and scenes of the staff of the palace really getting to know her and love her, as she is a kind woman, probably too kind. She's like idealistically kind. That's not a bad thing, it's just it plays in these kind of movies that way. There's never really a bad side to any individual in these kind of films. They're all perfect examples of human beings, and their flaws are always very one-dimensional and easily overcome with a little bit of Christmas spirit. Emily seems to, at least the movie tells us, love Leo genuinely. And Lacey Chabert shows it as best she can. But ultimately, this is a cheesy Hallmark romance movie, and the script is very, shall I say, simplistic? So there's only so much chemistry and actual human emotion that they can show without losing the genre. As the story progresses, Emily learns that if she wants to keep Leo, she's gonna have to fight for her man. And her opponent is the stuck-up family friend named Natasha, whom the Queen obviously has a preference for. Leo, however, only has eyes for Emily, despite her constant interference. At this point, Emily makes the best decision a protagonist can make in a royal-based romantic comedy. She befriends the help. She wins over the head butler, who helps teach her manners and decorum, and is clearly the most sarcastic character in this film. I do love me some snarky butler ever since Alfred Pennyworth from Batman, especially in the animated series version. She also befriends Olivia, a lady's maid who is new to the position after the Queen has apparently run out all of the previous maids and footmen because she's too taxing an individual to deal with on a daily basis. And of course, she also befriends the obligatory orphans. Of course there are orphans! It's a Christmas movie! Anyway, this shows that she can get the people's approval, whether she is an actual royal or just one that marries into the family. That the people of the country will respect her and accept her. Now, no matter what happened between the two ladies, or what has happened between Emily and the prince, or between Emily and the Queen, for that matter, we all know that the climax of this movie has to take place at the big Christmas ball, and so it does. I don't want to give away everything that happens in the movie, but it is a Hallmark style movie, so come on. We all pretty much know how it's gonna end. It's gonna have a happy ending, Emily will somehow end up navigating the harsh world of the royals and remain with her love. And of course, she will look beautiful while doing it. This is certainly not the first movie to tell the story of a small-town girl winning the heart of the prince. I mean, The Prince and I, starring Julia Stiles, was a AAA studio release that came out in the 90s. And let's be frank, this is just another variation on the Cinderella story that took place hundreds of years ago. But this movie is the first of this type of cheesy and sappy Hallmark-style film of the modern era. Lacey Chabert, as always, is incredibly charming and likable, a persona I think she might genuinely have based on some interviews I've seen and some personal anecdotes I've heard from people who have met her in real life. Her inclusion as the protagonist in this movie, it elevates the whole thing just a little bit more than a made-for-TV movie that you would see, especially at this point in time in history. I feel like the movies that came before this wave of Hallmark Channel movies really started, everything was so badly put together. And Hallmark really did bring, even though they are B movies, shall we say, they did separate things from the C movies that were the Lifetime original movies at the time. Also, in this particular movie, the sets are gorgeous. Honestly, whoever did the set designs for this was working overtime to make these simple locations and smaller sets look positively royal and something coming out of an actual castle. Even the overhead shots of the small town street look amazing. The whole thing feels like a real small town in America, not a series of sound stages in somewhere in Hollywood. The elements of the good casting, the acceptable music, the wonderful sets, and the overall story that is designed to bring warmth to your heart in this holiday season come together to tell a decent and entertaining story, even if it is a bit basic and a trope at this point. I mean, is this the best Christmas movie ever made? Not even close. Is it one of the better Christmas movies made in the Hallmark movie style? Definitely. That is why, for the first movie of my review series, I am giving this movie 7 candy canes out of 10. So seriously, check out this movie if you can find it. I'm not sure it's on any streaming services at the time of the publishing of this video. I actually had to rent this using an Amazon Prime credit back when I made this video last year, and it took me a year to edit and publish. I'm very slow. I promise I'll be better. But as of this moment, I'm not sure this is on any actual streaming service. But if you can find it, give it a watch. You won't be disappointed. Thanks for watching my video, and I'll see you on the next one.